What up, what up? Thanks again for tuning in. This is the Activated Podcast once again. We're coming up, holiday time, and I wanted to end kind of like the first season of the podcast episode that I've been putting out with a bang, right? So today, I have here with me Melissa.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
And Melissa is, how should I put it, artiste. Yes?
Artiste, yes. I like that.
I came across Melissa's work. So what Melissa does, she draws pictures. I don't want to butcher.
I draw pictures, y'all.
I don't want to make it sound so simple, but I came across Melissa's profile and work is actually through Instagram. Of course, I was on there going through, and I've seen that good friends of mine, Perle Noir, they were doing the Tribe series of events that they do. I believe they do it every month or so. Mm-hmm. I've been there a couple of times, so they had posted, they featured you on their Instagram. Yeah. And I believe it was you, you were drawing live, or was it a video? I can't remember, but when I came across it, and so I went to your profile and I was looking through it, and I seen some of your work that you've done, so I was like damn, she's, to me initially, was like, yo, damn, she's talented. That's amazing work. So, that obviously sparked my interest, and I was just and I reached out to you, and actually two things initially.
Yeah. I
was like, if I go in there and be like, yo, come to my podcast, she might be like, man, I ain't got time. What you mean podcast? So I was like, number one, I don't know in whatever order, but I was like, first, I want you to draw a picture of me. Mm-hmm. And number two, if you can, I would like for you to come on the podcast. And this was, I believe, a month and a half ago.
A month and a half.
Month and a half ago, right?
Yeah.
That's how busy she is.
Yeah.
Month and a half, and we finally meet, and this is the first time, of course. So, and also, because I was, when I seen, obviously, the drawings that you've been doing, I was just like, I mean, that's amazing to see that. And I also because I also talk about a lot of my podcasts is supporting the people that are in the community and helping us. So I really, not just talking about support, but actually put my money behind it and support what I think is amazing talent. So I'm going to let you kind of introduce yourself now. I've been talking for a little bit, so let the people know.
Hey, my name is Melissa Falconer. My friends call me Nezzie Mel, and basically I'm a pop art portrait artist. I do paintings, acrylic on canvas, and the event Ibu's talking about, basically I reached out to them. It was like a pop-up, an Afro-Caribbean pop-up party event in Toronto, and I was like, yo, I would really like to come out and do a live painting. So that's actually the video you saw.
So you actually reached out to them, which, okay.
Yeah, my friend Lola, also lives in Brampton, she saw the poster on Facebook and she sent it to me. She's like, oh, they're looking for vendors, they're looking for people to come out. So I reached out to them. I was like, I'd love to be a part of this. So yeah, that's how it ended up happening. And then did the live painting there, which was really great. It was really lit. It was way more lit than I expected. People were partying. Did you go to?
I usually go to that particular event last minute. I had to be in Montreal, so the day I was supposed to, I really wanted to come there because I wanted to meet you face to face beforehand, because I think that makes it easier in terms of whatever. It's easier to speak to people face to face, because sometimes DMs go ignored and whatever it is. So, but I couldn't. I had to go to Montreal that day, so I missed it. So that's why when I came back. My brother-in-law was there. Shout out to Mama Land. They was also there selling food for the new restaurant that opened.
Okay.
And so I was asking him, I was like, yo, did you see the girl? Because like I said, I've seen her before, so I was kind of low-key a fan. So I was like, did you see, how was it? But I think he was too busy selling food or whatever. So I was like, okay, I will reach out. So, it's worth the try, you know what I mean? Seeing from, that, but I want to, when did you start? Give us the very beginning.
Story. All right. So, basically, I started painting about 3 years ago, and yeah.
I thought she was gonna hit me where I started painting when I was 6.
I know a lot of people.
This is what I was meant to be.
But at the same time, I feel that way too, because I've always been that creative person.
Right.
it wasn't necessarily in painting, but I've always, you know, been drawing or been hands-on, been like crafty or creative in different mediums or different aspects. So taking up painting specifically was just 3 years ago. And it started when it was around Mother's Day, and I was like, yo, what am I gonna get my mom for Mother's Day? I don't know. And like, I just decided, let me paint her. And it was the most basic portrait. Like, it was only 2 colors, yellow and black.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, my mom still has it.
I would like to see it, just to kind of, I guess.
I can show you on my Instagram page if you want.
Oh, it's on, okay.
Yeah. It's so basic.
So, because like, my thing is, I'm amazed, what amazes me is the journey, but also like, it's almost putting the starting point to, here's where it started, and here's where we are. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. And that's my
But that wasn't bad. That's your first painting?
First painting ever.
But let me ask, so have you been painting? Yeah, show the camera.
Yeah.
That's not actually, I couldn't do that right now. And I've been, I mostly, I sketch. I don't, you know, a lot of people think because you work in architecture that you're supposed to be art. No, you know, I mean, most of the time I can sketch the shit out of a building, but I won't be able to draw you. But that was the first one you ever did.
First one, yeah. And my mom loved it. She literally went around her whole church showing everybody. I'm like, wow.
Little extra prayer.
So I'm like, okay, this turned out pretty well. And then from there, I started just giving gifts, like paintings as gifts to my friends and family.
Oh.
So the following Christmas, I literally gave everyone a painting just because
of themselves or whatever.
Of themselves, yeah. Just because I like doing it, and everyone I gave the painting to like really loved it, to the point where people started asking me for paintings, and then that's how how I got the ball rolling.
I mean that's when I looked at it. My first instinct was, yo, this is pure talent. Like, I don't know how to like work, but it's like, damn, like, can somebody, for example, right now, if somebody decided, you know, they follow you or whatever it is, and they want to get into painting, do you think that it's something that they can learn and get to maybe to the level that you're at?
Oh, for sure. Because like when I started, obviously I'm not at the level I'm at now.
Right.
But I strongly believe if you put work into anything that you do, that you can improve on it. So if someone's like,
yeah, I mean that's true for some things. I feel that's just my I feel like sometimes we put energy into things that we might not be good at. You know, it's like chasing somebody else's dream. Like we see, like for now, like I see your shit as whatever. And you know what? As we're talking, I'm gonna bring out the painting. Oh, this looks like a bill.
It's not a bill. Nah, so.
Hold up, okay.
So all my paintings come with a certificate of authenticity. So that's what that is.
Oh shit! So that means one day when you, of course, and I'm speaking that into existence, when you become famous. Listen, and I'm opening it for the first time. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, you can also make your way to YouTube, as a full video will be posted or is posted at this time. But oh yeah, this is listen, man, it's a real deal,
it's
people.
Legit.
Melissa, how do you say your last name? I don't want to.
Falconer. So it's like the bird falcon, ER at the end. Falconer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And business. This is nice. Yeah. And yeah, so I will show you. I'm gonna put that to the side. I will. Sorry. I'm a little too rough for this. Now, if I mess it up, do I get another one?
I mean, no, it's my first time really seeing someone like customer unboxing in person.
So you usually, as I'm trying to open this up, people order online and then you send it to them, correctly?
Yeah, basically. People email me all the time, sending me their photos, and then I just do the paintings for them and I ship them.
Now, have you ever seen somebody send you a picture and you're like, nah, I ain't doing this?
Yes, but it's more because the picture they send me is like horrible quality. Like,
okay, not because they just bad looking.
Nah. I mean,
sorry, I'm trying to.
Everyone is beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at this. This is first. I need to look at it.
What do you think?
I almost want to cry a little bit, man.
Really?
This is amazing. Like when I mean like talent, like I don't. Yeah, and she put the activated part. I did send that after. I was like, listen, I understand you're gonna put your name on it, but we would like to
I got you.
have the activated podcast. Look, I'm gonna show y'all on camera for a minute. Oh yeah, and then she put Ibu Melissa Falconer.
There it is.
Man, this is amazing. Hey, man. Number one, thank you for doing this.
No, I really appreciate you.
And also thank you for coming and giving me this dialogue.
No problem.
For free, of course. Now, I was thinking, so when you're saying that, like anybody, you think anybody could pick it up like, did you have to take like extra classes once you realized, hey, I might want to improve on these skills? Like, what did you do to get to here?
Well, I'm completely self-taught, so I never studied art professionally. I went to university, but I studied economics, which has nothing to do with
you know what? I have a question to ask you about that, but go ahead, finish.
Yeah, so basically, I literally just practiced almost every day and educated myself via YouTube.
Right.
To be honest, to grow my skills. So when I say I feel like if you work hard on something, I'm not necessarily saying that, if someone wants to become a world famous painter, that if they work hard at it that they'll achieve that.
Right.
I'm just saying that if you start at point A, that you can reach, point B by working hard. That also doesn't say that, that everyone can be an artist or everyone can be.
It's not, I guess it's not everybody's path per se.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we get caught up in, like I was saying, like chasing the wrong dream or chasing somebody else's dream. Like we see somebody do something, for following and things like that. Now, talk to me a little bit about your social media following. Like, how did you? Because I think on the low you are popping. I'll be honest. Every time you posted my picture or whatever, I was like, oh man, there we go. Because obviously the social media is not as big as of yet or whatever. But how long have you been putting it on Instagram to kind of grow to? Because I also I find out that people actually buy their followers, which is weird to me.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've heard that too.
Because then again, you see somebody with 10,000 followers, they post a picture,
and then you look on their
3
page,
likes. You're like, yo, bro.
Like, why?
But honestly, I didn't. This was somebody told me. Shout out to Butter when we were doing the podcast episode. She was kind of breaking out to me. So talk to us. Like, what if somebody wanted to grow their social media following or whatever it is? Give us a little bit, I guess, pointers in that sense.
Okay, so this is what I did. I started it about 3 years ago, and I already had my personal Instagram page.
Right.
So I literally just flipped it. I deleted most of my personal pictures that I didn't care about.
Right.
I kept a few. If you go back all the way down, you'll see a few pictures of my brother and whatever.
Right.
But then I flipped it to a business account. So all of my friends that I already had was how I started. I think I had maybe 100, 150.
Shit.
And from there, I just started posting my art every day. I think with social media, consistency is one of the biggest things, because people are easy to forget on social media because there's so much information coming in. So you constantly have to put yourself out there to kind of remind people of what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
So consistency for sure. When I just started, I was painting almost every day something new and posting it out. So when people start to see that, they'll follow you because they know that you're going to be posting something else the next day and the next day. And then they want to progress with you and see how you grow. Also, I started following a lot of other artists that I admire and who I want to aspire to be like. People like Benny Bing, Whitney Austin.
Are these all Toronto? Are they local artists as well?
Benny Bing is local.
Okay.
Some are local. Some are from the States. Just people who I feel like have a similar style as me, or I like what they're doing.
Okay.
Things that I want to aspire to, like goals that I want to reach.
No, so in that sense, do you think? Because I know sometimes people might feel like you're either because they're doing the same thing, they don't want you to, they don't want to share with you, they don't want to. Is it, in your opinion, as an artist, do you think there's a thing of as too many artists in the city?
Too many artists in the city?
Too many, would it be, for example, if somebody is doing the same exact painting as you, reach out to me, but I want to work with you. Do you decline it, or you go, no, I don't want, that kind of stuff?
No, because unless they're like literally copying me, sorry,
Yeah.
then no, but every artist brings their own individuality to
Right,
the table.
okay.
And just because you like one artist doesn't mean
You
won't
can't, like, there's
exactly.
room for like, you know, there's enough room for everybody to kind of do their own thing.
Exactly. So I don't think it's that competitive. I think it's even better if artists, for example, in Toronto come together. We build up, you know, the art industry in our own city.
Right.
I think it makes it stronger.
Right.
So.
Which, I mean, makes sense, because, I mean, personally, I like you, and I feel like a personal connection with you. So it does, I mean, like, if I ever needed another, you know, painting or whatever, like, I wouldn't go find a new artist or whatever. Like, I would reach out to him and be like, hey, like, somebody else wants to do it, that type of thing. So I think sometimes we feel like people can't coexist, or, you know, there's too many of one thing. I always say, like, we all could do the same thing, but different people are intrigued by different things.
Exactly.
So when we're talking, you did speak about going to school. You did go to school and you did study economics.
Yeah.
I did see on your Instagram that you have posted. Now I don't want to misquote, but you're here. You can verify. But I think what I got it from that, from your graduation picture that you posted was like, hey, this is for mom and pops. Here you go. This diploma's for you. Now I'm gonna do what I really love. Is that? Am I summarizing that?
Kind of, because when I started university, being an artist wasn't on my mind at all.
Right.
I wanted to be an accountant, and I kind of got that career path from my mom because she's into accounting and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was good at math. I was good at accounting, so it made sense. But I felt like it was like, oh, this is the path society has set out for you, so just do it. That's kind of how I felt.
Right.
Until I got into university and I started taking the courses, and I literally hated economics. Like,
Really?
I hated it. I tried to switch programs. I tried to switch schools. Like,
It's almost like somebody getting there like, oh wait, this is not.
I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this. But like, I felt like I was stuck in the situation, and I had to make the best of it.
Yeah.
So what I did is, like, I joined ABS, which is the Association of Black Students at Laurier's campus, and it's basically a group of black people I could vibe with, that I could, you know, go to when my economics classes were stressing me out, and make friends. And honestly, the biggest value that I got out of university was the connections that I made with people and the opportunities that came from that. So basically from ABS, those people that I met there helped me kind of, you know, become who I am today.
Yeah.
Because they encouraged me to pursue the things that I wanted to pursue, and they gave me opportunities to kind of explore what it is that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of got into the art thing, because I would live paint at their events. My first live paintings were at ABS's Black History Month show. And things like that. Those were the first opportunities that I had to put my art out there.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that community of people supporting me, who knows if I would have, you know, thought that I could pursue it further.
Now that you know, right? Mm-hmm. If you can rewrite history, obviously we can't, but if you have to go back, do you go back to university, or do you like, man, I skip all of this and just get straight to the art as early as graduating high school, per se? Like, do you do that same path? Do you do it over?
Honestly, I think about that all the time, and it's like, I don't regret going to university. Right. But if I could go back in time,
but that student loan is hectic.
Tell me.
But I'm not saying. Listen, I'm talking about myself.
Oh, trust me, I feel that.
I mean, OSAP. That OSAP is you look at it, you're like, damn, but outside of just the financial burden of obviously what OSAP brings and things like that, is, you know, do you do, like, because I mean, like, what you're saying, what I'm gathering from this is, like, you realize, you know, you started painting, you worked on it every day and perfected your craft, which not having, you know, I thought maybe you took like art courses and things like that until I saw your Instagram post. I was like, oh, that's very, damn, like I never would have, you know, looked at it that way. Now, how hard was it trying to convince your parents? Like, at what point did you start convincing them? Is it like midway through university, like, guys, I'm doing this, but Here's where I'm really.
Yeah, the thing about my parents is I never felt like I had to convince them, because most of the time, anything I set my mind to, I wouldn't say I've accomplished it, but I have an intent, a motive, and they can see that. So it's not like they saw what I was doing and they realized, oh, it wasn't a game for me. So I felt like they had enough trust in me to just let me do what I was doing.
But they still kind of wanted you, I guess, to finish.
Yeah, like when I brought up dropping out of school, they were like, nah.
No?
Nah, they were, like, if I had done that, they wouldn't have disowned me, but they wanted me to finish.
I don't know what your background is as African, my dad, parents. I don't even think you could kind of bring that up, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna freelance it. Like, I mean, because I guess also they come from an era where everything was structured. Like, it made sense to go to school because
like
after
to
school,
them, that is the next step in life. Like, if you don't go to, what are you gonna do if you don't go to university?
Yeah, which as if now, like, I feel like the tide has turned where everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody's, you know, it's almost we're empowering the self. What's the word for it? Like, we're pushing for self-sufficiency, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a new era where we now have the tools to pursue our own, you know, passions.
Yeah.
Outside of university. Before, university was the only place where you could get those tools.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
But now you don't need that because you have Google. You have, you know, YouTube. You have other resources.
That is a fact. Everything, this whole podcast shit, I learned on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
Exactly.
Because the people that even knew, like, people that would, like, have recording studio and things like that, when you go to them, they just, like, I always say, people are not as quick to move when it doesn't make sense to them financially. In the sense, like, oh, yeah, I want to do this thing. I feel like this will help. And then, like, in their whole mind, they're just thinking, okay, at what point does the money come in? Even when I have, you know, when I speak to other people, guests come and speak, to them it's like, okay, so when do you start making money? I was like, I mean, we're far ways from that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, a perfect example is you. Like, you were painting and giving these out for free. And then now you get to charge. Now, I do want to ask you, now that we're getting on that topic, is how did you, your first painting that you asked somebody to pay for, however that conversation came, how did you determine how much you were going to charge that person?
Yeah, pricing is probably one of the hardest things for artists because so many things go into that. So first I looked at, you know, the materials. How much is this canvas going to cost me?
Right.
You know, how much is this paint going to cost me? And then it goes into the time, okay, how long do I think this painting is going to take? Then you have to look into things like, okay, what's my hourly rate? You know, how much is 1 hour of my time worth? Like, that's a hard number to come up with.
Yeah.
And then influenced by that is your reputation or experience as an artist. Because obviously an artist who has a bigger reputation than another artist can charge more.
Yeah.
And then your reputation depends on a lot of other ththings. So honestly though, my first customers were my best friends. So it's like,
I feel like those harder to sell it to, like, because sometimes when your friend be like, man, you're crazy. What? Like, is that...
Nah, because honestly, like, your real friends should want to support you and pay you for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
That
makes sense.
Like,
I realize how much friends I don't have.
Exactly.
I'd be like, yo, how much y'all want to pay for this activated shirt? No, we want it for free. But I was like, but then, you know, support, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I was talking about support, it was like, yeah, it'll be nice for you to come and speak and we do all this thing. We put our time in. But I was like, I really wanted to, like, you know what I mean, put my money behind it so I could truly be like, you know what? Yeah, like, it's whatever, but to me, it's worth, like, when I'm looking at it, whatever I pay for it, it's worth it. So when you started, and in terms of determining, like you were saying, I'll let you finish, determine how much it costs and things.
And I was looking at what other artists were charging too.
Okay.
So,
but I feel like do they post it, like, or
that some do, some don't. It's hard to find, so you have to kind of gauge, like, so they'll post, like, if they're selling a print on their website, or if they have certain originals, but you don't really see commission prices up there. So you can try to, you know, guess based off the information that you do have. So
which is cheaper? What is this called? Commission?
That's a commission. So a commission is basically...
You hear that commission? I don't listen. I don't know what that... Okay, the commission is when somebody's like, hey, here's a picture of me, draw it.
Exactly. Okay. It's like when someone else is hiring you to do a specific job for them.
Okay, so that is a commission. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So now, fast forward to how many times have somebody wanted you to draw a picture or whatever it is, and then you sent the price, and then they went, and then you just never heard back from them? Does that, how often?
Oh yeah, that happens probably like 50% of the time.
Now let me ask you, when you did send me the price,
Yeah.
on a percentage basis, how much of it did you go, oh man, chances are I might not hear back from him or whatever? Did you think I would?
No, because of the way you DM'd me, I kind of had an idea of what your strategy was, because I knew you wanted me to come on your podcast.
Oh.
So it was like, nah, if this guy wants me on his...
Hey man, that's real. And you know what? I did, and like I said, like it wasn't like, to me, regardless whether or not like you came, I would have purchased it, because like I said, it's things that I want to start to unlearn and learn new kind of behavior. So it's like if I'm on here telling y'all we got to support each other, and then I don't set the precedent for that, like I don't go out and be an example of that, then my word carries zero meaning. So now, because of I've never been the guy to say things and now follow through for whatever reason. So you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, like whatever. Like to me, it's not that it's expensive, but when you see the painting, you start to understand. Hey, this is really that's what it is. So, because sometimes we have no problem lining up for Jordans, right? You actually even made a comment about my Jordan collection.
Yo, this man's got like
I got
50 pairs of Jordans.
Yeah, and it's and I will always buy these shoes without thinking, yo, these are like $300 a pop. So I'm like, so if I'm able to do that, or we go to the club and we can celebrate nothing, right?
Yeah.
And buy the Hennessy bottle. You always see the dude with the Hennessy bottle walk in the club because he paid like $350 for it. It's like, if somebody's really doing which we perceive to be a good thing, why won't we put our money behind it? So you did catch on to my strategy. That's good.
Yeah, but I liked it, honestly. Yeah, I appreciated it for sure.
So also another thing is, how long does it take? Like, how do you gauge the time that you need? Because I also seen that you posted that for 2017, you're no longer doing commission.
Oh, I said that prices are going up in 2018 for my commission.
Oh, you tell she getting a lot of money. She
no,
like,
actually,
yo, listen, man.
No, the thing is, like, I was getting overwhelmed with orders,
So
and I couldn't keep up.
Oh.
So it's like, it's basic supply and demand. You know, if you raise the price, then the demand will go down. So that's literally just it.
But what if you raise it and the demand goes up? Like, do you for example, if you get sick, do you have a backup? Can somebody else, you know, do you have somebody that can like fill in just colors?
No, it's just me. I'm a one woman show. I do everything myself.
Shit.
So it's like
superwoman.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I got a little worried. I got a little concerned.
Oh yeah.
Because we, like I said, we talked so long ago. So I'm thinking every week she's gonna like update, because you did say. And before we get into that, how I knew you meant you were about your business, which I thoroughly appreciate, and I want to give you your props for, is once we finished the little small talk, she sent me a contract.
Yeah.
And I got a little headache because of damn.
A headache?
Listen, whenever you see a contract, I'm like, and I got into the habit now that I've been doing this for a while now. Like whatever contract I sign, like I really read it. So I didn't respond initially, and I didn't want you to think like, oh, you know, whatever. Because I really, obviously with the smartphone you get it instantly, but I wanted to be home and like to be in the zone, to actually go through and read it and things like that.
I want people to read the contract. Yeah. Like that's what.
And then I was like, that's what I was like. I was like, she really is serious. So at that point I was like, oh yeah, this is happening.
Like doing events, it's a lot of work. So to keep myself on track, that's why I do the contract. The contract also, you know, gets rid of the people who aren't that serious about the commission. Yeah,
no, if you're not serious, don't play around. Because once that contract comes and your name is on there, I'm like, okay, this is serious. And then you also, of course, for you to get started, you take a deposit. Was there a time where you would do it and then?
No, I always
okay, that makes sense.
Because I need first the money to buy your canvas and supplies. You know.
Has anybody ever like pay you the deposit and never came back for that?
I've had people who just abandon their paintings.
Oh, they rich.
But, you know, I don't...
And you should really contact her if you are interested about the price. And it varies, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not rich, so I couldn't do without my deposit. But, I mean, that's beside the point. Like I said, I just really appreciated the business part of it. Now, you also one thing I wanted to ask you. You are a woman.
Yes.
Of a visible minority,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Not to say black, but yeah, we are black. But, how challenging is that? Like, do you think sometimes people don't take you serious as a woman in this business?
Honestly, I can't say I've ever gotten that before.
No?
No, and I think it's because, like, I use that as my strength. If you look at a lot of my work, a lot of my original paintings, like, what I want to put out in the world is, this is the life of, you know, a black woman living in the 21st century.
Right.
And that is, you know, that's who I am as an artist. So it's like the people who like my art and who follow me, like, they, on some level, also identify with that.
Right.
You know? So that is the reason why they are following me, because I'm putting that out there. I'm, you know, living my truth. So I try to play that to my strength. And it's like, if someone isn't feeling me just because of that, then I don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try not to let that influence me. I want to put that out there. Listen, like, I'm a black woman. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Who support more? I just curiosity. How supportive would you say that the black community?
100%. Like, they are my supporters.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't be here without the black community.
Shout out. I'm just gauging it, and the reason I'm saying is because we do put. I'm part of Motherland ENT. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but we do parties. We promote parties essentially, and one of our main events that we do every year is Afrofest after party. And the amount of support that you get is mostly like your friends never want to pay to come to the party, but then it's like, but they also expect, you know, the best party in the world, and we're talking about like as small as $20, right? And I always tell people like this, and like, I don't for people that don't know me, I don't even have to go back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? But for your friends, it's, I mean, I wouldn't say all, but for most of them, they just feel like just because they know you, they deserve free entry to this event, which is like, yeah, but you gotta look at it from your perspective. Like, you feel like you know me, cool. So does everybody else that know me. So if you started to go around not getting paid for things, then the next year there won't be an event. Now you're like, oh man, what's going on? How come this event didn't go on? So I think it's very important that, you know, we support, obviously, and the number one way to show support, for me, in my opinion, is you put your money where you, because the money is the one thing that we value more than anything, right? Has anybody asked for like free painting? Like, do you offer, is there like a free painting? Because if there is, I would like to enter.
Like, for a while I would do paint a follower. I pay my followers, I get people to tag me on Instagram, and I'll just, you know, do a small drawing on paper.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing that for a while, but I started running out of time to do them.
To do these things, okay.
Like, I want to bring it back because I actually really love painting my followers.
So you just pick like a random person?
Yeah, people, I usually just go in order of whoever tags me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I just paint them.
Would you ever do like a giveaway of one of these big paintings? Or no?
Maybe not that big, but maybe a small canvas. I was probably thinking about it because before, when I was doing paint a follower, I think it was once a week. Right. Now I'm thinking of doing it once a month and then making it kind of a bigger thing, like an actual canvas painting.
Yeah, to do, okay.
Yeah. So.
That's nice. And also, like I said, this is the end of the year, obviously. I'm sure that you're super busy and got deadline to complete before. Briefly, 2018, what does that look like for you? Like, and also to add on to that question is, at the end of everything, if you were one day to look back of your career as an artist, what would you like people, what is people takeaway that you would like for them to have? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes. Listen, man, it's early.
I know.
But yeah, like back to.
Yeah, basically, I kind of want to build a brand for myself.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? I am an artist, but at the same time, I'm a businesswoman. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I want to do a lot of other things with my art besides just canvas paintings.
Okay.
You know, so for 2018, I'm really looking into doing apparel. So, and not just basic, like stick the picture on the front of the shirt and it's an ugly square.
Oh, and they be like, yo, this is $50. You want? I got a clothing brand. You know, I've seen some of the craziest, like people literally. There's a new trend going on. I feel like I should get in the trend because it seems like people get money. Like they'll take a word and they'll put a random African cloth design or whatever, like, yo, this is my clothing brand, and I'd be like, huh? You just came up with words and put.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't listen to me. I'm a hater, but I was just saying like that. So would you like? You mean like taking some of the canvas or whatever that you paint and then taking that picture and putting it on shirts, or like we're talking deeper than that?
A bit deeper. Like I don't want to just be sticking. You know, anyone could do that. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to do something that's more in tune with who I am as an artist, in that direction. So I'm still working on that, obviously, but yeah, like even the prints that I do, I want to do more merchandise, like not just paper prints. Like why can't my art be on coffee mugs, phone cases, stuff like that? But I want to do it the right way. I want to do it my way, and not just the way that every other artist is doing it.
Is trying to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually like I've never came across anybody does doing what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just not in tune yet, but you're the only artist that I follow.
Oh,
by
yeah?
the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't like
Appreciate
to. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of no, but honestly, it's just like I said, it's the first time I come across these things. So like, obviously with the podcast too, like I gotta go outside of what my comfort levels is. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that I would have cared enough or even thought about this would make sense to even do in terms of even figuring out artists and things like that. But it's a new day, new era. Everything that I'm curious about, I'm trying to reach out genuinely, and people like you, they're doing amazing work, come and speak, and we need a lot more of that and uplifting each other. Now, to wrap things up, any upcoming events anywhere? Where can people follow you? Where can they email you and things like that?
For sure. Upcoming events. I don't know when this podcast is going out, but I'm doing one tomorrow. I don't know if you've heard of Rise.
Rise, no.
Rise, it's an amazing organization in Scarborough area.
Okay.
And it's basically empowering people with art, poetry, spoken word,
nice.
stuff like that. So tomorrow is their last Rise event for the year.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be doing a live painting there.
Okay.
Is
it during the day or nighttime?
Night. It starts at 6:30.
6:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode will come out on Friday, so it'll be past that. But I mean, we'll send me whatever, and then we're trying to post it.
I'm doing events all the time. A part of my brand, I guess now, is that I love to do live paintings. So people will often reach out to me to come out to their events and just paint a piece live, and usually I'll give away that painting at the end of the night.
Oh, okay. And do you charge for that?
I do raffles, so people buy raffle tickets.
Okay.
And then whoever wins the raffle gets the painting.
Okay, I'm saying do you charge the organizer? Let's say if I'm doing
do
an
I
event
charge them?
and I tell you, hey man, can you come and be part of the entertainment?
Yeah, it depends. So if I don't charge them, then I do the raffle and I just keep the raffle money.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
If I do charge them, then I usually just give them the painting and then they could do the raffle themselves or however they want to.
Okay.
A lot of the times I also do fundraisers. So if it's a fundraiser, sometimes we'll split the funds 50-50 and I'll donate 50% to whatever fundraiser that they're doing.
Yeah.
So it depends on the event, how they want to do it, but I'm obviously very flexible. I'm more just coming out to do. Yeah, to do it.
I mean, and like I say, I appreciate it, and hopefully when your price go up, and when we got some favors to catch in, just don't forget to activate the podcast. We've been supporting you from the
from day one.
But thank you for what is your? Can you give them people your?
Follow me on Instagram. I'm literally obsessed with Instagram. So if you want to know what I'm doing, at Melissa Falconer, MELISSAFALCONER. I'm also on YouTube, so a lot of the live paintings I do, I'll film and record them and post them up on my YouTube channel.
Yes.
So YouTube is Melissa Falconer too. Facebook is M Falconer. I'm also on Tumblr too. If you go on my Instagram page, you'll see everything else there.
Essentially, if they type in your name,
yeah, Google my name.
Google her name.
I also have a website.
Yeah.
So my website is mfalconer.com, and I sell all of my paintings and prints on there.
Okay.
So go check out my artwork on my website. Probably the best spot. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, like I said, support. And before we close out, I do want to give a shout out to Pearl and Noir because without them even being aware of, this is the reason why we're here, because they promoted you. I saw it. You know, I reached out. I got my painting done, and also they have an event coming up on December 30th. Tribe, same event that you done. So please go ahead and, you know, if you want to find unique artists. An artiste. I don't listen. There's no way to say it. Please go ahead and, you know, follow Pearl and Noir on Instagram and all that good stuff. So thanks for coming, man. And, amazing.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate support what you're doing too.
Yes.
You know, podcasts. I love podcasts.
Yes.
So I'm glad, you know, I have a new one to listen to.
Yes, please tune in, subscribe, and also that's the uniqueness of it, is because when I did start. I think the biggest podcast, even the ones I listen to, has nothing to do with Toronto. So it's like, if I live in a city as vibrant, as big as Toronto is, why don't we have our own go-to?
Exactly, I'm so here for that.
Guys to do it. So thanks for coming, and you know, this is the Activated Podcast as always, and you've officially been activated. Peace.